Hello one, hello all, it's me, I'm back! Did I go anywhere? I went crazy. Am I late? Irredeemably so. I apologize. As restitution for your anticipation, I promise to not only get the ball rolling with my future projects, but also limit myself to only one innuendo in this video. See if you can pick it out. I don't get monetized, so I can say things like that at the beginning of a video. Though, is innuendo a no-no word for YouTube? I don't know, I don't have to care yet. And I say yet in hopes that it is indeed a yet and not just unfounded confidence. On my initial final draft of this script, what a phrase that is, I wrote, anyways, it's 2024, or only almost 2024, I hope. It's funny in hindsight, but it still stings to shatter the dreams of my past self. I used to want to be a correctional officer, imagine me in that timeline. ACAB includes alternate timeline Godzi, who probably still goes by my dead name, poor girl. Regardless, I'll stop trying to throw a bunch of jokes at you in my intro and save that for the actual entries instead, and that means we're starting what you came here for. The start of yet another year of seasonal anime previews. It's my favorite every 3 months, but only sometimes a Sisyphean project. Which of course brings me to, welcome back one and all to another edition of yours truly, Godzi, that's me, talking about shows that haven't aired yet. Time to rewrite my rules for the first time in God I don't know how many seasons. Gotta have something fresh to copy paste for the next infinite amount of these. So in these videos, I go onto AniChart and read the synopses and watch the PVs for every anime airing in the next upcoming season, this time being for winter 2024. Afterward, I put them into one of the following self-explanatory categories: watching, maybe watching, not watching, and eventually watching. Quick aside for just this season, these ratings are just first impressions and I am not known for adhering to them as gospel. We have fun here. In addition to these categorizations, I have what I call a silence token that I can use at my own discretion to choose one show per season to not talk about, and I will no longer explain said decision at the end of the video, another line that will only be in this entry. With all that said, let's begin. Solo leveling. I choose to be evil this year. You know how I always do a top 10 anime video for each year, only sometimes reasonably on time? Well, one of my resolutions for 2024 is to not watch any of the big hitters of this year until after I make that list. Fuck you. This includes holdovers like Firene as well. Gotta weaponize my contrarian nature somehow. What's that? Oh, okay. Because I'm just doing this for a bit, you want to know what my actual thoughts are on this show? Ha! Tough luck. You wouldn't believe the time this will save me. Classroom of the Elite 3rd season. Although the 2nd season of this show was originally on my must-watch list for 2022 up until my top 10 video still didn't even get past the scripting stage as of my writing this, I sadly had to cut it from the queue in order to not make the video take too much longer. Too much meaning a decade with my work ethic. I hope to one day put these procrastination jokes behind me. That also means I have to put off watching it so I can make my 2023 video. What a shame. Truly tragic. Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy 2nd season. Now, I did not watch the 1st season of this show, but I will say I heard shockingly decent things about it. So even if it's just standard and campy and a fucking isekai, it's likely worth a watch, but my list, my rules, I give it a maybe to entail that I don't fucking know, just like many other things in my life. Mashal, Magic and Muscles 2nd season. Now this show, I gave a not watching to entail that I don't fucking care. Popular isn't always good, just look at Game of the Year discourse. Baldur's Gate? I'll keep my hair, thanks. Chained Soldier. The Japanese title has the word slave in it, just figured that was worth mentioning. Regardless, I'm going to need to wait for early reviews, as if I'd watch it while it's still airing, just casually dunking on myself in my script constantly, no end in sight. I'm of two minds on this show. So the general concept is that this is a mirror society where women are the dominant gender over men, which is totally a concept that's been done before, because they're the only ones who can attain powers that can slay life-threatening monsters. However, there's this one guy who gets transferred powers by some girl, which transforms him into her slave and makes him a total monster-killing machine. So on one hand, this sounds like a Chosen One story, where even in a world dominated by women, the Chosen One is still a man. And on the other hand, this sounds like an actual commentary on sexism with some cool action scenes. It'll probably go the first way. Don't pretend I'm holding out hope. I'm just saying. Delicious in Dungeon. You've heard of monster fuckers, now get ready for monster eaters. Gross. This is also where I'm going to insert my opinion on what I want to call manufactured mainstreaming. It's probably better defined as media companies just having confidence that their work will be well received, can't relate. But I saw figures of the characters in this show being made and put up for pre-order after like only 1 or 2 episodes had aired. It just screams to me that this show was made to succeed, which I recognize sounds stupid, but please understand that we live under capitalism. It's not the worst example I've seen though. Remember that movie from last year? Barbie? Yeah, they'd been releasing merch for that movie for 64 years before it came to theaters, so I guess I'm talking out of my ass here. What else is new? Bottom tier character Tomozaki, second stage. Oh, fuck the gamer show. It's the gamer show. Remember in my top 10 anime of 2021 video when I said I'm looking forward to and potentially dreading the second season of this show? Yeah, so true, me. You've always been spitting. We'll just pretend that's the case at least. The Dangers in My Heart, second season. Oh, the edgy rom-com that I haven't gotten around to yet got a second season? Sick. Exciting. Do I even know if this show is good yet? Nope, not remotely. But I'll be damned if I don't watch a show this edgy eventually. I always loved edgy shows as a kid, like Paramore. I wrote this joke while tired at 11 p.m. and my brain registered Paramore as a cartoon, which I guess isn't too much of a stretch. In other news, my favorite rock band is Danny Phantom. A Sign of Affection. I can't tell what this show is, because nobody's ever shown me one. Hey! But yeah, I'll admit the concept of this show was really intriguing at first. Having a deaf protagonist, it's a cute, effective, and impactful setup for a romance story. Wonder where I've heard that before. But I just can't stand the art style they went with. I know, that sounds anal of me, that's not the innuendo, but it also just looks like a standard shoujo series underneath the pro-social wraps, which isn't a bad thing, but because I'm so anal, I'd have to let it simmer and hear the opinion of the masses before making my decision. Blue Exorcist Shimane Illuminati arc. I don't think I've ever heard a positive or negative opinion on Blue Exorcist in my life, so I'm just gonna assume it's mid to make my life easier. Banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside, second season. Oh yeah, the countryside is so quiet. Take it from me, I've lived in the country my entire life. You'd think it'd be quiet. Then Rodney from down the road rides his tractor in front of your house. Then there's Paul speeding in a truck, tearing up the fucking road and not moving over for bicycles. Then a motorcycle goes by, even louder, that one was Justin. Oops, there's Jerry with his chainsaw. Cameron is yelling at his wife. Gary is mowing his lawn. Dick is drunk in his garage blaring Tim McGraw. No, that's not the innuendo either. And all of this is happening while I'm trying to enjoy a fucking lemonade on my porch. Take all that, never remember their names because I'm socially anxious and talking to middle-aged men in rural New York probably isn't a good idea when you're trans, and that's the sound of the country. I'm sure the city is louder. I've been to New York City. There were distant police sirens every night. I'm sure one of those officers was Cameron, but the country is loud too. So anyways, the show? No, Hokkaido gals are super adorable. Do we need more gal rom-coms? No, seriously, I'm asking if it's truly necessary. The Witch and the Beast. Edgy aesthetic? Check. Room for social commentary? Check. Tolerable art style? Check. Non-fantasy setting? Oops. Well, guess you were one criteria short of getting an automatic pass into my watching list. Such a shame. Urusei Yatsura 2022, second season. Hey, look, a free entry that I don't have to pretend to say anything interesting about. Wonder when I'll get another one like that. My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Metallic Rouge. I mean, I like the designs of the two main characters, and I haven't given out more than one watching so far, so hey, why not? So what is this show? Some murdery sci-fi action show? Great. Well, there are worse ways to spend my time. I could get drunk in my garage blaring Tim McGraw, but I'd need a garage first. The wrong way to use healing magic. Okay, I've had a tweet idea on this topic sitting in my drafts for a couple weeks now. Sorry, months now. collecting dust among a bunch of bad puns, various save me jokes, and this, which I thought was a good joke until I looked it up, and yeah, people have already done that. It's also not the innuendo. But either way, I came to a realization pretty recently. Why is the fantasy genre so prolific in media? Like, no, seriously. Between the isekai genre, D&D based stories, and a fuck ton of other franchises, from The Elder Scrolls, to Dark Souls, to Lord of the Rings, to Fire Emblem, to Narnia, to Game of Thrones, it's all just kingdoms and knights and dragons and swords and magic all the way down. I'm not saying it's impossible to write a unique fantasy story, but does it not feel a disadvantageous position to start from? It's set in an alternate past 9 times out of 10. There's only so much that's believable in a 12th century-esque world. I say that being a Three Houses fan, I realize. You can really make a lot of wild shit seem believable in a medieval setting, but I don't know. There's only so many times I can see fire, thunder, wind, and ice magic. Only so many times I can see evil kings and giant dragons. Only so many times I can see goblins, elves, fairies, and lizard folk before I start snoring at the mention of a new fantasy story. It's not that I won't give them a chance, but I just don't get how it became such a big thing. But maybe that's a topic for another day. Tales of wedding rings. So anyways, what was I just saying? I'm sure it's nothing important. Anyways, let me read this line from the synopsis. So when she tells him she's going back to her home world to get married, his first thought is to follow her and crash her wedding. All goes according to plan, and with a kiss from Hime herself, Sato becomes the new groom. Genuinely, what? If on my wedding day, some random fucking guy I know crashes the venue, which would just be a dingy office because I don't plan on having festivities, I am not kissing him. I am hitting him with a pipe iron before that. Or her, or anybody. Don't get any ideas. Okay, I am single. You are allowed to have ideas. Just don't wait too long. I'm in short supply after all. High Card second season. Yeesh, time has zero respect for me. First, I become an adult and have to pay bills suddenly. What the fuck does car insurance even do for me if I just don't crash? Skill issue, if I'm honest. Next thing I know, it's 2024 and here's the second season of a show I said I'd watch and haven't yet. Crazy. Dr. Elise, the royal lady with the lamp. If you've been around the block with my anime videos on here, you've probably heard at least once what my thoughts are on the concept of characters redoing their life with future knowledge. I am not a big fan of it. It can work, but it's so overdone. Like a club sandwich. What the fuck am I writing? Why am I comparing a media trope to a club sandwich? Villainous level 99. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the demon lord. Yeah, I know. Fantasy genre this, isekai genre that, otome game subgenre inundation this and that, but this just looks charming. Like I said, it's not impossible to make a fantasy story good or interesting. It's just usually dependent on characters and the actual particular concept, or if it has ballistic missiles. I guess that's why the otome game isekai subgenre is more compelling than the power fantasy harem isekais out there. What a shocker, truly. The foolish angel dances with the devil. Kaguya-sama for Christians. Oh wait, no? Maybe, probably not. I don't know what Christians like, but looking around my rural town in New York, it appears they like football, barbecue sauce, and the Confederacy. So then, Kaguya-sama for agnostics. Gushing over magical girls. I hate this title, y'all, and don't think I made that up. That is the English title written on AniChart. Someone sat down and wrote a story with the word gushing in the title. Now, as established, I am not a Christian. I'm not religious at all, actually. But I think if I did believe in a god and saw this show get made, I would no longer believe in them. Also, yes, I put the PV in slow motion so it doesn't get to the gross shit by the time I'm done talking. You're welcome. Shaman King Flowers. This is only a maybe on a technicality, because I've heard good things about Shaman King, but I've also heard the remake series is kinda bad. Where does the truth lie? Do I care enough to look into it? You know the answer, I'm sure. The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash. Let us take a moment to ask, why the fuck are they called the Weakest Tamer if they're literally, like, 7? My cousin had a baby recently. Dumbest motherfucker I've ever met. Mr. Villain's Day Off. Was there not a show pretty recently about an alien who was supposed to destroy the world but chose not to because they really like cats? Do you remember that? The one where I said, meow meow motherfucker, you are not immune to kitty propaganda. Speaking of which, neither am I. But I'm not insane, right? Someone's copying homework around here. But if I'm being charitable, this looks cute. That's all though. Ishura. So is it just fight scenes? Like, the concept just says people are fighting to see who's strongest. It looks flashy, it looks fine, I don't know, go away. What am I even supposed to joke about here? Like, oh, they made high school cafeteria fights into a shonen anime. Get real. Kingdom 5th season. Do I need to reiterate my entire fantasy genre spiel again? 5 seasons? Oh my god. Like I said before though, topic for another day. Buchigiri, this gives me Cromartie vibes. I did not care for Cromartie High School. 7th time loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. Hey look, another fucking villainous fantasy show. And again, it looks alright. How do they do it, and when will they stop? They can't stay interesting looking forever, and neither can I. Maybe if I actually watched any of them? Great point. 'Tis time for torture, princess. Look, I just don't care. I may be only 22, whoops, I have to change that to only 23. And please agree that my use of only there is accurate. I may be only 23, but there are things that I'm too old for already. And please agree that my use of already there is accurate too. Sengoku Yoko, it looks fine. What? Sometimes I'm a person of few words. You've never seen me at work, whoops, gotta change that to unemployed. Hell, you've probably never seen me in real life at all. I can shut down real quick. You have no idea. Pon no Michi. I'm not sure I care for Mahjong, honestly. I can sometimes get into a show that's just another cute girls doing cute things concept about something I know nothing of, but Mahjong sounds like something that put me directly to sleep. Knew a guy who played it once. His name is Richie. Fluffy Paradise. This is a potentially good concept. I mean, leave it to Japan to have a character get isekai'd by dying of overwork. Feel like they've also done that before. But either way, who wouldn't want to pet a giant fucking cat? Are you kidding me? That'd be awesome. Just a big fucking cat. A giant fucking cat. Need I repeat it again? A giant fucking cat. A big fucking cat. A huge fucking cat. You can pet it. A big fucking cat. Need I repeat it again? A big fucking cat. A huge fucking cat. The Demon Prince of Momochi House. You know, sometimes I get tired of being an anime fan. Maybe it's time to start, like, watching movies or something. I heard there's one called Vin Diesel that people really like. Feel free to leave good movies for beginners in the comments. Going off script for a moment here. Ironic that I'm reading this on the day that I went to watch Dune Part 2. Good movie, by the way. Would recommend. Sasaki and Peeps. The first 2 lines of the synopsis made me think this was gonna be a cute show about a man and his bird, but nope, it's in another world with my pet bird. 'Cause why not? How much further can we stretch the isekai genre until we're just making the same show over and over again? Oh wait, cherry magic. 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard? Oh boy, I fucking hate this title. We've already had a moment like this earlier with the fucking Magical Girls show, but the difference here is that despite this awful title, this show seems actually good. It's old man yaoi. I kid, 30 isn't old. If 30 were old, then I'm fucking middle-aged. This just seems nice, I don't know. It's a change of pace at least. It's rare we get a cast of characters that are all in their upper 20s to early 30s, that's for sure, even on Twitter. And hey, if being 30 and a virgin makes you able to read minds, then give me just under 7 years and I'll confirm that for you. Or the alternative. I'm available, by the way. The Fire Hunter 2nd season. I can't remember if this is a show whose first season is something I praised or not, but hey, doesn't matter. I don't vibe with the vibe emitted here anyways. Woohoo! The Strongest Tank's Labyrinth Raids. A tank with a rare 9,999 resistance skill got kicked from the hero's party. You will never be Bofuri. Synduality Noir second season. Unlike The Fire Hunter, I do know this is a show I made fun of when its first season aired sometime in 2023. And damn, how does this bargain bin shit get a second season when the only people who watched it were My Anime List users addicted to their own statistics? Call it the Hallmark effect. The slop insists upon itself. Delusional Monthly Magazine. The title makes it sound like something akin to interspecies reviewers, but thankfully it appears to be nothing like that. That said, don't let that fool you into thinking this appears to be anything worth watching. Rest assured, it appears mid as fuck. Bang Brave, Bang Bravern. What are the kids into nowadays? Robots? No? Damn. Good thing that was literally the only thing we had to show in our PV. Card Fight Vanguard Divines. What are kids into nowadays? Card games? No? Damn. Good thing that was even less than the only thing we had to show in our PV that we don't have. Not like anyone's still watching this shit. Big fucking cat. A huge fucking cat. You can pet it. A big... Wait. Oh shit, it's the end of the video. Well, color me unimpressed. Only 4 shows I said I'd watch for sure. Isn't that insane? Maybe I am just getting too old. Maybe 23 is middle-aged after all. And now for the recap. Except no, because does anyone watch this far? Does anyone like hearing me say the titles again for another paragraph? There were only 4 shows I said I'd watch. I repeat, 4. It's whatever. Rough looking season, not a strong start for 2024, but neither was mine. Let's hope the rest of the year is a bit more hopeful in multiple ways. So that's the video. I'd say my whole outro, but I know no one listens to the whole thing. In fact, to prove it, I will